Hey there, Mr. Reddit here. Welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled Parents Stories. Our first story we'll be reading today. Karen wants my shiny Pokemon for her son. After that, I expect you to build my son a game, and I expect you to do it for whatever I pay you. After that, customer tried to take a computer and TV in one of the most brazen ways I've ever seen. After that, the entitled mom is the manager? And after that, your milk is definitely not my problem. Now Karen guaranteed me you would not hit that thumbs up, so please prove her wrong by smashing that like button. And if you're new, subscribe and turn on notifications for new stories from Reddit every single day. And if you want to prank your friends with a message from Karen, visit Mr. Reddit on Fiverr, link below. Karen wants my shiny Pokemon for her son. Got a Halloween one for you, featuring my misadventures playing Pokemon Go. Cast, we've got me. We've got our antagonist, Matilda, because Karen is overused and she seemed like an odd duck. We've got Officer. So, I'm a coffee addict. I know, shocker. And as coffee addicts like to do, this morning I went for a stroll down to the Golden Arches for a cup of joe. And because walking and doing nothing is boring, I decided to play some Pokemon Go while I walked to get that sweet cup of magical bean juice. The walk there was fairly uneventful. A couple people just milling about doing their own thing. Get to McDonald's and get my sweet ambrosia and step outside. Proceed to whip out my phone and take the long way home to hit a couple stops and enjoy my coffee. I'm walking up to my first, and what would turn out to be my last stop, and spy our would-be antagonist at the stop, sitting at the heater that was in the gazebo built at the stop. I'm a few feet away, and it happens. Cue Pokemon battle music. A wild, shiny Pokemon appears. To be fair, I had a lucky egg going. I load that sucker up with a berry and throw a great ball at it. I catch it, and in my drowsy excitement, I shout an exuberant, "Heck yeah!" This draws the ire of our antagonist, Matilda. Hey, don't swear. There are kids around. Reasonable reaction, I guess. I accept I'm in the wrong there. I did know Goblin was near, yet I still swore. My bad. Kid was around 6, so I'll just head out. Me. Oh, sorry miss. I got a little too excited. Won't happen again. I'm just passing by, so I'll be out of your hair soon. Matilda. Good. What on earth would make you swear around a kid? Me. I'm playing Pokemon on my coffee run and just caught a shiny ghost I've been hunting. I got a little too excited about it and got carried away. My brain is still at the bottom of my cup. Matilda. Well, you owe my son something for what you did. Give him that Pokemon, now! I'm going to assume a bunch of you know how that game works with trading. But for non-nerds, here's a TLDR. I can't give her Spawn a rare Pokemon without us playing together for way too long for me to be chilling with her brat. Me. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Matilda, resisting the urge to ask for my manager. Excuse me? Me. Not going to happen. I'm not giving your son anything. Not just that, I can't. What do you mean you're not giving my son anything? Exactly what I said. She finally mega evolves to a full-blown Karen. Matilda. You will give my son that Pokemon now, you piece of crap. Or I will call the police and charge you with harassment. Me, pointing at the camera in the park that watches the bums sleep in the gazebo. Go ahead. In true entitled fashion, she actually calls the police on me. I haven't even gotten within 5 meters of this lady, and I know the camera has seen it all, including my happy dance at catching that little Pokemon. Spoiler, I can't dance. The RCMP show up, and of course, Matilda instantly flies off the handle and starts spewing vitriol at them about how I'm basically horrible. I'm just leaning against a fence, looking bored and annoyed, throwing balls at passing ghastly, sipping my coffee. Calm as can be, despite my annoyance, only because of the coffee. The officer approached me and asked what happened. Me. I was on my morning coffee run and played some Pokemon Go on the way there. I caught something I've been hunting for a while and got excited and swore within earshot of her and her son. I hold up my phone, displaying my new trophy. Officer, did you ever approach that woman? Me, I haven't even been within a few meters of her. Check the camera. I've been here listening to her screaming at me because I accidentally said a bad word near her kid and wouldn't do as she demands by giving her kid a rare Pokemon by way of apology. Matilda hears the word camera and goes white. Evidently, she missed me pointing right at it. She tried backpedaling really fast while the other officer is off checking the footage in his cruiser. He returns with his cuffs out. Not for me though, for her. They asked me if I wished to press charges. I told them yes. She was booked for filing a false police report, lying to an officer, and I'm not sure what else. I'll find out later. I'll update when I get more information. Next we've got, I expect you to build my son a game, and I expect you to do it for whatever I pay you. For context, I work at a cafe in the downtown core of the city I live in. Today, I was taking advantage of a lull between customers to talk to a friend about game design, and more specifically, a game I'm dreaming of developing one day. Granted, said dream though is probably a pipe dream in all honesty, given how time-consuming and expensive it is. We were talking about how the game's multiplayer would be structured when this story begins. We've got Entitled Kid, we've got Entitled Mom, we've got Friend, and me. Entitled Kid has been hovering around, obviously within eavesdropping distance for the last couple of minutes when he moves in and inserts himself into the conversation. Entitled Kid.
Wow, that game sounds cool.
Me, both enthused at the interest and annoyed at the intrusion. Thanks, I guess. Entitled Kid.
What's it called? Where can I get it?
Me, it's not even built, it's just an idea.
Yeah, but what's it called? Is it on Xbox?
Friend, it's not an actual game, kid. It's just an idea in Sage of Profession's head. Entitled Kid.
What? Why not?
Me, because I have no time or money.
What? Can't you make time? And you make money here. Spend it on making that game.
Me, it's going to cost a heck of a lot more than my wage here.
Liar.
Me, indignant. Excuse me?
If you're going to keep lying like that, I'm going to get my mom to pay you. Then you'll have no more excuses.
Friend, amused. Sure, go right ahead. Entitled Kid runs off, and we keep talking about making the game when Entitled Mom butts into the conversation without warning, stopping us by basically shoving a hand in Friend's face to stop him. Entitled Mom.
Hi there, I'm Entitled Kid's mother. He said you play a game that he wants to play, and you aren't telling him the name.
Friend. We're not telling you the name because it doesn't have one yet. Entitled Mom, already getting angry.
How can a game not have a name yet? How do you expect someone to find it on Bing?
Yes, she actually said Bing. We're still laughing about it now. Me, doing my best to keep a straight face. It's not even made yet. Friend doing the same. It's not even being made. Entitled Kid behind Entitled Mom.
What? You guys are talking about how to play it through.
Friend. Just because Sage of Profession knows how it'll play doesn't mean it's actually made. Entitled Mom scoffs.
And how does it work? How do you know all that if it's just in your head?
Me, bluntly. You never imagined how something works before? Entitled Mom pauses visibly before continuing.
All right, fine. How long will it take you to make this?
Me. Probably quite. Entitled Mom interrupts.
Have you even started?
Me. No, I don't even have the money. Entitled Mom gets angrier.
What? You have a job, you know. You earn money working here, right?
She sighs.
Whatever. My son's going to keep hounding me about this. So, how much will I have to pay you?
Friend. Wait, you pay him?
Yes.
Me. You want to pay me?
Yes.
To make this game? Entitled Mom going red-faced.
Yes! How much? Stop being lazy and spit it out.
Me. Pauses for a few moments to think of an answer. $500,000.
$500,000?
Me. To pay for staff, development PCs, software licenses, data centers, cloud storage and servers. I'd need more to buy or rent an office.
BS. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to make this game for me, and you're not going to lie about the price. I'm paying you $80 like any other game out there, and nothing more.
Entitled Kid.
I want to play the beta.
Entitled Mom, listening to Entitled Kid.
And you're going to have a beta ready for my son next week.
Me. I won't. Entitled Mom.
Excuse me? I'm paying you, so I expect you to do your job. And I expect you to have it ready by this time next week.
Me. Deadpan. I'm not working this day next week.
Well then, you better come back here to meet me. Otherwise, I'm not paying you.
Me. Deadpan. Okay, I'm not working, so I'm not coming in. Entitled Mom sputters.
Enough! Beta, here, this time next week, or I'm not paying you.
Entitled Mom and Entitled Kid leave at this point. Honestly, I hope they do come back. My manager was watching in the background, and she got a good laugh out of it all. Both her and I are actually kinda hoping Entitled Mom and Entitled Kid come back next week. If they do, we'll update you all. Next we've got, customer tries to take a computer and TV in one of the most brazen ways I've ever seen. This happened about 6 years ago at one of America's largest retail chains. I was fairly new to retail at this time, still young enough to believe in the good in people. I was monitoring our 4 self-checkout registers. A woman comes up with a computer and TV in the box. My initial reaction was me thinking why anybody would come over to self-checkout to scan those items, as we didn't have hand scanners at this time over there. You either had to hover the barcode over the scanning plate, or you needed somebody like me to type in the UPC and serial numbers for both items. So I go over and type in the numbers, and all seems well. A few moments later, I see some error message on my screen I'm standing behind that I couldn't interpret. I didn't know what it was saying. I had never seen this before, but it did mention the items were voided off. I thought it might have been a simple void she did, which I always need to approve on self-checkout, which annoyed me because I took the time to type in the UPC and serial for both items and she suddenly doesn't want them? Turns out, she did want the items. I go over to the woman and ask what's up, and she says she didn't know, but she used her credit card and it said the transaction went through. Not likely since no receipt came out, but she mentioned she didn't even need it. For a computer and TV? Are you dumb? She kept insisting the transaction went through. Not knowing what to do, I call a customer service manager over to sort through this problem. The customer tells the CSM the same thing, and the CSM says she needs to go into the cash office and check the transaction logs for that self-checkout to see if it really went through or not. Keep in mind, throughout all this, the customer is using a, now known, not at the time, technique of acting super busy by repeatedly saying, "I'm going to be late to pick up my daughter," which, not knowing that kind of tactic, still made me think, who buys a TV and computer when they are that pressed for time? Manager reiterates she needs to check the transaction logs and she would be back in a few minutes. Customer is annoyed, but the manager walks off to do that. The entire time she's in the cash office, this woman is going on about how it went through. And after a minute, she asks me if she can call her credit card company to see if they say it went through. I didn't confirm their response would mean she could up and leave, but I said she is free to do so. So she takes out her phone, calls a number, and without even being asked any identifying information, gets a rep on the line in record time. She tells me the rep said it went through and asks if I'd like to speak to them. Not wanting to get involved with her personal financial stuff, I declined to take the phone in one of the biggest regrets of my life, because I'd kill to see what they actually said on the other line, as it clearly was not a credit card company. She hangs up and now keeps on going,
"They said it was fine. Can I go?"
and I stayed, not until the manager gets back. So after what seemed like an eternity of listening to this woman go on and on about needing to pick up her daughter, calling her credit card company, asking if she's good to go, etc., my manager comes out. She explains there was no transaction in the log of her purchase and asks to see her card. She takes one look and says, "It didn't go through because it's expired. See? End points." The customer, realizing they were truly defeated, angrily mumbles something like, "Fine,
I guess I won't be buying these things today.
Which of course was no problem for us, and storms off, leaving us baffled. Next we've got, the entitled mom is the manager? So 2 years ago, my family went on vacation in another state and we used an Airbnb. If you don't know what that is, basically someone lets someone else stay in their house for a few days. You put your house or apartment on the website or whatever, and someone else pays you to stay there. It sounds like a weird concept at first, but it can actually be quite helpful. So like I said, me and my family went on vacation. We were supposed to stay in a nice peaceful house near a river, but a week before we went, the owner of the house canceled on us. We don't know why, but we were a bit upset. But oh, that was just the beginning. We were in for a wild ride. The cast. We've got my mom, we've got my dad, we've got entitled mom, the most unsympathetic person I've ever seen. We've got assistant manager, we've got Airbnb person on the phone, and we've got kid, entitled mom's kid, not important to the story. Because the owner canceled on us, we had to go to a different house. The owner/manager of the house assured us that this was a nice house in a nice neighborhood. I mean, yeah, it wasn't necessarily a bad neighborhood, but it wasn't anywhere near safe. We got into the house, we unpacked and went to sleep. Note, my brother and I shared one Nintendo Switch. We had already hooked it up to the TV in the house. Also note, the TV was right near the front door. When we woke up, we noticed the front door was cracked open. My parents asked each other if anyone had gone outside, and everyone said no. Then we realized that our Switch and my brother's Kindle tablet were gone. Someone came into the house and took them. As you may guess, my brothers and I were mortified. Note, the door was not forced open. Someone had either unlocked the door, which we made extra sure to lock up before bed, or someone straight up picked the lock. The only people that had the key were the manager/entitled mom, the cleaning people, the Airbnb supervisor/assistant manager, and a contractor that had come the week before. It could have been anybody. So obviously, we were all kind of surprised. We're in a house we've never been in, and switchless. Dad then called the manager, assistant manager, and the police. This is where the entitled mom comes in. She came to the house, and her kid, who looked about 9-ish, was sitting in the car. The car was on and stuff, he was fine. He didn't really do anything in this situation. So my parents told the officer and the 2 managers what happened. We lost a Switch, the game that was in the Switch, and a tablet. That means we were robbed of about $460 worth of stuff. Entitled mom was told this, and didn't give 2 craps. When mom and dad told entitled mom the situation, her response was almost always,
"Oh, that's unfortunate."
or "That's too bad." The entitled mom just did not care. Assistant manager and the officer said they would confront the people with the keys. Needless to say, we left 2 days later. Dad got pretty upset and left a bad review. However, he didn't have an Airbnb account, so he did it under mom's account. A few days later, my mom gets an email from entitled mom, basically going like this. Not the actual words. Entitled mom.
"Hello, this is entitled mom. I saw that you left a bad review on the stay you had. That review is inaccurate and destroying our business. Take it down before we do. I will leave a bad review on you."
People who own an Airbnb house can leave their own reviews on customers so that the rest of the company knows who to be careful around. So my mom was upset at that. This woman gave us zero sympathy for the robbery that took place in her own house. So mom pulled an Uno reverse card on entitled mom and used her words against her. Mom in her email response. "Oh, that's unfortunate." She never got a reply to that. But that's not all. Not too long after, my mom got a call from Airbnb. They asked her about the bad review that was left and wanted to know about what happened. So my mom told the story to Airbnb. They thanked her for the feedback and hung up. Now my mom was in a mix of anger, contentment, and confusion. She later saw that entitled mom did in fact leave a review on her. Now mom is hesitant to use her account, and usually dad books all the houses on his account now. We still don't know who took the Switch and tablet. We don't have any solid evidence that entitled mom took them. It could have just been a regular old robber. But it doesn't really matter now, since that all happened 2 years ago. We have a new Switch now, and my brother now uses my old tablet. Just how uncaring entitled mom was really made everyone upset. This happened in her own house, and about $460 worth of stuff was taken. Mom agreed that if it had been in her house, she would have felt horrible, especially since it was a kid's game. And what did entitled mom do? She got upset at us for being upset at her lack of sympathy. Next we've got, your milk is definitely not my problem. So this took place 3 years ago in the Netherlands when I was on an errand for my mom near the Dutch grocery store. I was 13 at the time, so even though I was Dutch, I wasn't really that tall yet. So I was standing just outside the store, double checking if I brought enough cash according to my grocery list, when this English-speaking lady came rushing over to me. I could immediately tell she was American, but since I didn't know of Reddit yet, I sadly couldn't identify the Karen details in time. Remember, I'm a 13-year-old tiny pole of a boy in the Netherlands. I don't know why she thought I could speak perfect English, but she immediately started spouting out some lines about milk in an angryish tone, which I didn't appreciate. Now, I know many people here say that they aren't good with confrontation, but I have ADHD, and it has basically become part of my life at this point. I wasn't about to just receive incoherent yelling from some old hag in the middle of the street, so I just rudely shouted, "Hey, could you slow down a bit, miss?" This clearly offended Karen, but at least I was able to understand her from this point on. This was the conversation. Karen gasps,
How dare you speak to me like that? Are all kids in Holland so rude?
Me, well, not really, but you were kinda shouting at me. Could you tell me what's wrong? Karen,
Oh, so now you will do your dang job. Listen up, boy. I'm gonna ask you one more time to carry my milk for me.
Me, milk? What? I really don't understand. I don't think you know me. I meant, I think you have the wrong person by that. Karen,
Well, of course not. Are you stupid? Is this why they positioned you outside for scouting instead of doing actual work?
me, I'm not sure what you mean, lady, but I'm losing my patience.
I told you not to talk back. Now come here and carry this.
She dragged me by the arm to her car. At this point, I could see the prophesized milk she was talking about. It was 5 boxes of like 12 cartons at a time, which would never fit into her little rental car. Me, hey, don't touch me. I was small, but knew how to fight, so I wasn't threatened by some dinosaur easily.
You disrespectful brat. How dare you shout at me?
At this point, people started gathering since cars didn't really pass by often and you could clearly hear the shouting match. Dope Guy got out of the car to confront Karen and this conversation followed. He asked her in Dutch, "Ma'am, is this your child?" Karen,
What? Speak English or leave. I'm busy.
"My apologies, but this kid doesn't really resemble you. Why are you shouting at him?"
He works here and he's slacking off.
I finally realized the misunderstanding, and I was about to unleash a verbal can of whoop butt on this entitled jerk when Dope Guy spoke up within 0.1 seconds. Dope Guy, "Miss, this kid is clearly under the work age and has no uniform on. Please let go of him."
What uniform? This kid was checking some list for the store goods.
Me, "Yeah, that was a shopping list. Now let me go before I bite your wrinkles off."
You little...
People already started angrily confronting Karen, and she immediately let go. Dope Guy went to go get an actual employee, and Karen got some help after being forced to apologize to my smug-looking butt. To this day, I don't understand why she thought Dutch employees stand outside stores for scouting with some goods list or whatever, but I guess I got away with it before being accused of stealing her milk or something. And shoutouts to our Regenerals of the day, the King of Anons, Bonnie Scott, and Swan, Shy One, and Son of Ice. Become tomorrow's Regenerals by leaving as many Rees as you can in the comments below.